Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to see the useless car features which nowadays every modern car has. Let's jump right in. Fake engine sounds, why it exists. Many modern vehicles, especially electric vehicles and hybrids, lack traditional engine noise. So manufacturers add artificial sounds through speakers. This is meant to enhance the driving experience, particularly for performance cars that would otherwise be silent. Why it's useless. It defeats the purpose of electric vehicles, which are supposed to be quiet and smooth. The sound is artificial, and can be annoying, especially for those who enjoy the natural silence of EVs. Some performance car enthusiasts prefer real engine noise rather than an artificially generated sound. Some cars don't allow users to disable it, forcing drivers to listen to fake revving noises through the speakers. Examples: Ford Mustang. Mach-E uses sound enhancement to mimic an engine growl. BMW M Series pipes in fake exhaust noise through the speakers. Tesla Model S Plaid has an optional cyberpunk engine sound, but many owners disable it. Overcomplicated touchscreen controls, why it exists. Car manufacturers want to create a modern, minimalistic interior, so they replace physical buttons with touchscreen controls. This is supposed to make the dashboard look cleaner and more futuristic. Why it's useless. Touchscreens require drivers to take their eyes off the road, making them dangerous compared to physical buttons. They can be slow, laggy, or unresponsive, especially in extreme temperatures. Many basic functions like climate control, volume, and wipers should have physical buttons for safety. Examples: Tesla Model 3 and Model Y have no physical buttons, requiring everything to be controlled via the central screen. Volkswagen ID. 4 has no physical climate control buttons, making adjustments frustrating while driving. Cadillac Lyriq uses haptic feedback instead of real buttons, making controls less precise. Massaging seats. Why it exists. Supposed to provide luxury and relaxation for long drives. Common in high-end luxury cars like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi. Why it's useless. The massage effect is weak, more of a light vibration than a real massage. It doesn't compare to an actual massage chair. It's an expensive add-on that barely gets used by most drivers. Examples: Mercedes-Benz S-Class offers multiple massaging modes, but they don't truly relax muscles. BMW 7 Series has heated and cooling massage seats, but most owners barely use them. Gap rear seat entertainment, why it exists. Initially designed to keep passengers entertained on long drives. Common in luxury SUVs and minivans. Why it's useless. Most passengers prefer using their own smartphones or tablets instead of built-in screens. Built-in systems are often outdated, expensive, and have limited streaming apps. Cheaper to buy a tablet mount instead of paying for an overpriced factory system. Examples: Cadillac Escalade. Expensive rear seat screens that many families don't use. Range Rover high-end rear entertainment screens that are often ignored. Gesture controls, why it exists. Allows drivers to wave their hand to control certain functions like volume or song change, intended to reduce distractions by minimizing button pressing. Why it's useless. Often doesn't work properly, requires very specific hand movements. Easier to use steering wheel buttons or voice control instead. Can be triggered accidentally, causing frustration. Examples: BMW iDrive, gesture controls for volume and navigation that many drivers disable. Volkswagen Golf 8 has a finicky gesture control system that barely works. Voice controls, why it exists. Allows drivers to use hands-free commands to adjust settings like navigation, climate, and calls. Why it's useless. Often doesn't understand commands properly. Takes too long to process requests, making it easier to use buttons. Most people prefer using Google Assistant, Siri, or Alexa instead. Examples: Mercedes-Benz MBUX, advanced but still prone to errors. Ford Sync, often struggles to recognize simple commands. Why it exists. Creates a luxurious and futuristic interior atmosphere. It's pretty common in Mercedes, BMW, and Tesla vehicles. Why it's useless. Most drivers set it once and never change it again. Dozens of colors aren't necessary. Blue, red, and white are enough. Bright lights can be distracting at night. Examples: Mercedes-Benz EQS 64 color ambient lighting, but most people stick to one color. Why it exists. Helps drivers parallel park automatically. Why it's useless. Takes too long to park, making it slower than a human driver. Often fails in tight spots or heavy traffic. Examples: Tesla Smart Summon, meant to park the car, but often struggles with accuracy. Ford Active Park Assist, slower than just parking manually. Why it exists. Designed for aerodynamics and sleek looks. Common in sports cars and luxury vehicles. Why it's useless. Windows can freeze in cold weather, making it impossible to open doors, requires extra care like using de-icer spray in winter. Examples: Tesla Model 3 and Model Y frameless windows often freeze shut in winter. Why it exists. Designed to make EVs sound like traditional gas-powered cars, Dodge and Ford use it to appeal to muscle car fans. Why it's useless. EVs are meant to be silent. Adding fake noise is unnecessary. Many drivers find it artificial and annoying. Examples: Dodge Charger Daytona EV uses a Fratsonic exhaust that sounds fake. Ford Mustang Mach-E GT has artificial engine sounds played through speakers. Some car features sound good in theory, but are pointless in real-world driving. Manufacturers should focus on practical features instead of adding gimmicks that increase costs. Which of these features do you think is the most useless? Or do you know of any others that should be added to the list?